My name's Deanne Crooks. I'm the artist in residence here at New Art Gallery Walsall, and the title of my residency is A Tale or Two, and I'm really looking at old wives' tales, Caribbean tales, folklore, the richness of them, and almost comparing them with generational wealth and seeing how tales have really been passed down from generation to generation to myself. And it's almost prompting me to think about maybe the tales that I would pass down as well to my future children and generations that beyond me, really. And I'm mostly fascinated by the richness of these tales, the consequences of them, the influence of them. I think I want to experiment and highlight with the spaces in which these tales are told and who is telling them, especially because I have such a rich relationship with my grandmother, and this is the person who I've heard a lot of these tales from. I'm quite fascinated by that, and I guess in a way the tales have been a good connection between me and my heritage that I don't have that much of a connection with at the moment. So this has kind of been the string that's holding me and my heritage together. So I'm kind of pulling at that string a bit now and trying to see what else is behind it and what's at the end of this string. And more recently, I've kind of delved a little bit more into cautionary tales as well, because when I was researching these tales, I realized that a lot of them were cautioning somebody. They were saying, don't do this, don't do that, watch out for this. Well, if you do that, this is going to happen. There's so much caution in that, and that's quite similar to some of the works that I've done previously as well. So I'm kind of diverting slightly at the moment, figuring out what I want to do with cautionary tales and then seeing where that will lead me. This is where I've started off my thinking, and I'm quite used to working in this way with like notice boards and post-it notes. I'm not quite sure where I started with that habit, but this is how I've sort of started my thinking, mostly focusing on my own recall of these stories, my own memory of them, wondering if I've actually fudged them as I've recounted them as well. Thinking about how they're told, how imaginatively told they are, how dramatic the act of sharing tales are as well. The comfort of them. Sometimes I think tales almost act as a comfort, make people feel safe, that they have this superstition, this way of thinking. It's almost kind of a comfort blanket to know that if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, these things won't happen. My initial points were really around gender and health. So I noticed when I got to looking at some of the tales I first remembered, a lot of them were pointed towards women and those who have babies and what not to do when you're having a baby, and what to do when you're pregnant and all these different things. A lot of them were surrounding the pregnancy experience. So that's kind of what I've got here, and I'm kind of collating all the tales I could remember along with some collected ones from other people as well. And then these are some film photographs of spaces that I can think about that tales have been shared. So churches, my grandmother's kitchen, barbershop, salons, Caribbean cafes, things like that. And just the passing down of these tales within these spaces. And then these are sort of my own rough tests of how I've put some of these tales into text. And I really want to play with text because I kind of want to embed them into walls and wallpaper and environments and spaces. So I've been playing with text and then projecting them through acetate and an overhead projector. So yeah, that's kind of my starting point. In moving from my notice board and thinking about tales as generational wealth, the first thing I was thinking about was heirlooms. And when I think about heirlooms, I think about things that people would pass down. And one of the initial points of that was kitchenware, china sets that you might get. So I thrifted a set of kitchenware and dining sets, and I just started to sort of sand them down and work into them and paint onto these items some of the tales. So you can see on some of these I've got just like a little side plate. I've got that knife falling on its back, and it meaning someone's going to move house. And then I've just sort of added that with this, which is a handkerchief. And handkerchiefs are quite, I think I was talking about this before with people as well, that they're not really used as much nowadays, and rightly so, not massively hygienic, but they do really remind me of my granddad, who I was really close to. So I really wanted to play with this even more. So I've done that again here with another tail, and I've accompanied it with the fish. So if you dream of fish, it means somebody's pregnant. That's a common tail. And then I've got the text on here, somebody's pregnant, onto the handkerchief. So, and I've tried to do the text really neat and refined, so it almost looks like it's been embroidered, or it just feels like it fits with the textile. And that's what I've been exploring with the heirloom concept. And I've kind of continued to do that. So this was a tale about rope, not stepping over rope when you're pregnant. Can be quite a detrimental thing, apparently. So I've just sort of painted some rope onto this little mug here. And yeah, I'm quite excited by these, mostly by the handkerchiefs, I think, out of what I've done so far. So I might do a bit more of this. And I've got a few more handkerchiefs left, so